so here it is in the light of day. You can really see what I'm doing. So I'm taking a little bit of Novus, which is a plastic cleaner. I sprayed just a little bit of it on a microfiber cloth, and I've been wiping every single piece. And then just stacking them in order here on a piece of paper. It's perfectly clean. So I know I'm not introducing any dust or contaminants. And the Novus also acts to repel dust. There's always going to be dust, and there's always going to be little paper fibers and things to contend with. So that's why I just inspect every single piece. You know, just wipe it with the Novus. And I wipe it with the dry part of the cloth until it's totally clean. There's no marks on it. Now I'm about ready to glue up. Make sure my area is perfectly smooth, and now I'll just arrange them all back. But I'm going to do it a little different than I did last time. I'm going to, rather than try and glue this whole long section at one time, I think I'm going to see how it works to glue just a couple at a time and move along. Because I have a feeling if I have this whole big stack and I'm sitting there going like this, something's going to go out of whack. And I want to be able to control the process a little better. Alright, so next would be gluing up. Process of glue up now. And it's a long and tedious process, but I wanted to go ahead and just show you a little bit of it so you see how it goes. I'll do a couple of pieces so you see how the process flows here. First thing is I've got a brand new applicator bottle, so I know it has no contaminants in it. And I've got it filled with fresh solvent. Okay, I've cleaned all my pieces, cleaned my workspace, cleaned my hands, all my tools are clean, everything is clean. I've got to have it clean. And then what I'm doing is I'm just laying a piece up against my ruler here, which is clamped down. These applicator bottles are not my favorite. My favorite is called Plasticator. It has a very long needle. This has a very short needle, and I don't like it that much, but it works. Okay, and then I take a little piece and put that right about there. Then I take my little square, which is set to 1 1/4 inch, so it'll go past the 1-inch ruler, and push the piece up 1/4 inch. And very lightly, without moving the piece, I wet it out. And I look to see if it went all the way down. And I'll show you what I mean. Because the material is clear, you can see what the solvent's done. And as you can see, all the pieces are clear, side to side, and they're all mated up. So I will just continue along, one piece at a time, carefully making sure each one of them is laminated. Now in super macro. I'm going to show you some interesting things about this. Is that because of the capillary action and the surface tension, even a piece that's just slightly loose gets drawn right in. Bump that a couple times. The little pieces are easier to show. A little tiny bit of fledge on there. Alright. Okay. Now, set it. And this has got a little bit of a rock to it, and you may see it pull itself over. Do you see it jump? Plus the light changes on it, the color of it changes on it. From above, when you're looking at it, it looks different when it's been fused. That's how it works. So now, while this one sets up, I isn't going to move it. It's going to leave it right where it is until it finishes setting up. And I will clean the other parts, which are all just laying there, and get going on that one. Okay, so now both of them are laminated up, and I just need to let them alone. But I can measure them. And I can see exactly how wide now I need to cut my other parts. So I can get on to that. Right, so I have already spent a lot of time sanding the back so it's totally perfectly straight and flat, and polished it. Polished the bottoms. Now what I need to do is run it through the saw, put a little nip right along each top. Really sucking them in there. So now on the back side where it's glued, it's got all the little angles to it. And so before I cut the other side, which has a totally different angle, I'm going to completely dress and polish my other piece and do the exact same operation before I change the saw. Alright, just cut the faces of this one. As you can see, now they follow the shape in the drawing. I'm going to cut the other one, show you how that goes. That's it. Now I can put the ledge onto them. Okay, so now that I've got them all cut, you can see that the bandsaw left this really interesting texture, which is just what I like. So you got the texture on the small pieces, and you got the texture on the big piece. Now the problem I'm having, as you can see, is that the wetting out today, it's a little more humid, and so now it's leaving a fog instead of a nice clear. So I have to buff that off. But in general, real pleased with the texture and the way this is going to look. Just a little bit more work ahead of me before I can attach the ledge part of it, and then we can actually start assembling the reservoir. Okay, so now that I've got these many small pieces laminated, that'll be the end of this video, just to keep it short. In the next video, I'll be building the entire reservoir, talking about some of the details that go into that, but I think we've gotten as far as we need to with putting tons of tiny little small pieces together to make a fall wall for a reservoir. It's supposed to mimic something like a hydrofall. Thanks guys, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting Mountain Storm. If you like, subscriptions, comments, and of course, custom commissioned work.